Hello, in this section I'll cover the new units in Brave New World, so we'll start off with a great writer. So you must build the Writers Guild in order to start generating this great person. He'll create a great work of writing for you, which translates into extra culture and +2 tourism early on. He'll also grant you a political treatise, pronouncing that wrong again, which will generate a large sum of culture for your civilization. These guys are pretty great people to always spawn. They spawn quite often, at least in the games that I've played. Then again, it also bases upon whether or not you are focusing on generating great writers, artists, and musicians or not. But I do like these ones the best out of all of them, outside of the artist, which I'll show you next. And then a great artist is somebody who can create a great work of art that is placed in the nearest city that has an appropriate building with an empty slot, like the palace, a museum, or a cathedral. And a great artist can also create a golden age. Great artists are expended when used either way of these ways. And then also, if you want more information on the great artist, if you check out the changes to cultural victory, which was right before this, you can find out more information about the great artist in more depth. And then lastly, for here, the great musician. And then you must build the Musicians Guild in order to start generating this great person. He is able to create a great work of music, which will give you an extra culture and +2 early on. +2 tourism early on. He'll also fill a tourism slot to help out culturally. So again, this guy is an excellent addition to winning a cultural victory. He'll add some tourism in there. He'll make some fancy schmancy work of music for you, kind of like Spotify. Gives you tons of stuff, but in all seriousness, he'll give you like classical arts and things like that. So he's a nice unit to have. And then just a little bit bonus unit in here, even though this is already covered in my Venice guide. Merchant of Venice is another great kind of person that generates, and he'll help you out with money. He'll also acquire a city-state, but again, you only can have this if you play as Venice. So that's the only stipulation there. And then let's go back a little bit, and then let's talk about the XCOM Squad, a unit that anybody can use and everybody can use. He'll cost you 400 production or 800 faith. He is a gunpowder unit, more like a laser power unit. His combat strength is 110, which is huge. His movement is 2, and then his ability is a Sky Ranger. These guys, if you've already known about them, if you've played XCOM ever before, you'll know about these. I mean, those that are a fan of Firaxis in their games will know that this is a direct influence of their other games. And obviously that's XCOM Enemy Unknown, and actually a DLC just came out for XCOM recently. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's the Bureau. Check that out too, or even the earlier version of that game. Regardless, this unit has the ability to be power dropped 40 tiles away, which is what the Sky Ranger does. Made power drop with an extended range. 40 hexes pretty much means that you can sky drop anywhere you want. I mean, you can just go to war with somebody and then plop, have these crazy strong units pop up right next to a capital, take it over. Really helps for endgame stuff. And then they are an upgraded version of the Paratrooper. Obviously, this is going to be a late unit. And then it is obtainable once you receive nanotechnology. And then another one, I know there is the Bazooka. There we go. This guy will cost you 375 production or 700 faith. He's an archery unit, a combat of 85, a range combat of 85, a range of 1, and a movement of 2. And then prerequisites is going to be nuclear fission. And then he may not melee attack, but that's kind of obvious considering he's got a big old bazooka. He's an atomic arrow range unit that must be adjacent to an enemy to strike, so it kind of stinks, because if you're on a hill and you're 2 tiles away, for the most part you won't be able to hit them. So you must be right up next to them, which sometimes is detrimental, but it is a late arrow unit that will be the final upgrade to all of the ranged infantry units. And then let's pick out another guy. I know there's an older unit that has changed, the hand axe. Let me actually just put it in here real quick. Hand axe. Oh no, I know that there's a hand axe. I know the barbarians will have the hand axes. I may not actually have the little thing. It's probably because we are not able to build them, but the barbarians are. So you'll see these little pesky units while you're playing a game with the barbarians turned on. They are an upgrade to the regular brutes that they end up getting in the game, so they should be watched out for while you're playing. They're really nothing that frightening, but they can deal some damage if not mentioned. So anyhow, you'll see those throughout your games. Sorry that I don't have any video of them. I just didn't have any game that currently had those in there. And then there's a couple more units left. I know I'm gonna actually have to type in here the next one, the Caravan. Let's see if that will work. There we go. Not that one. Caravans? Nope. And there we are. There we go. This is a new unit for Civilization 5 Brave New World as well. It costs you 75 production, a movement of 1, and has limited visibility. You don't actually really use this unit in the typical way as you used to. They more or less act on their own, and they just walk to the nearest city or city-state that you are trading with, and then it establishes land-based trade routes between two civilizations that yields gold. It can also be used to deliver food or production within your own borders after building a granary or a workshop. So these guys are able to get you gold, science, faith, food, or production. Again, you won't be able to get all of those things at all. Like, you can't get all of them at once. It's either you trade away your food to another city, or you trade away your production to another city. And then two big things between that: you can trade food between your own cities once you discover granary, and the production, you are able to trade away that once you get a workshop. But again, I just mentioned that in the description there anyway. Just a tidbit if you weren't really listening. And then also, when you're trading with civilizations, as I mentioned in some of the prior videos that I have on this guide, make sure you're not trading exclusively to one civilization, especially in higher difficulties, because what you'll end up doing, you'll bolster their gold in their own cities, so they'll have tons of gold, and they sometimes result in buying their own army and going to attack you. So they end up killing you because you traded exclusively with them. Sometimes it's a good thing to do that if you're playing a diplomatic victory and you know for a fact they will not attack you, because there's a bonus to only trading to them as well. They'll tell you, oh, I'm happy that you're trading with me. So sometimes it's a good thing. So now that we have that out of the way, let's see, there's the cargo ship. Let's see, cargo ship, there we go. And this is essentially the same thing as the Caravan. Instead it costs you 100 production, so it'll take a little bit more to build. It's got a movement of 1. It'll do the same thing. You don't really move this unit, but it is present. Barbarians can take it out, along with the Caravan, as I didn't mention. So you do want to keep it protected. You do want to keep it around your borders, so that way you can see it at all times. And it establishes sea-based trade routes between two civilizations that yields gold. It can also be used to deliver food or production within your own borders after building a granary or workshop. So again, I won't reiterate what I already said. It really does everything a Caravan does, but now it's a cargo ship. And from what I've noticed, the cargo ships tend to actually get you more gold, food, and production while you trade with them. So I do recommend sometimes having cargo ships over Caravans. That may not be true. I may not have played the game long enough to really know that for a fact, but in all of my playthroughs, it tends to be that the cargo ship gets me more gold. So those are going to be the new units. Actually, there's one more. I almost forgot about this guy, the archaeologist. I know if you want a ton of information on the archaeologist, let's see, hopefully, of course that didn't get it. If you want tons of info on this guy that I'm about to bring up, you can look at that cultural victory guide that I have on my guide here, and there's tons and tons of info on that guy. I know they should be up here somewhere. There we go. Here he is. He'll cost you 200 production. He's got a movement of 4. And then there are a special subtype of worker that are used to excavate antiquity sites with others so to either create a landmark improvement or to extract artifacts to fill in great work of art slots in museums, palaces, hermitages, and selected wonders. Archaeologists may not be purchased with gold and may only be built in a city with a university. So again, you build your university up, then you're able to create this unit. You cannot buy this unit. So remember that. Also, with the exploration social policy track, you are able to find hidden antiquity sites with the archaeologist and go dig in over there. And you are also able to go into others' borders and take their antiquity sites. So don't be too cautious about not doing that. But sometimes that civilization may be angry at you for taking what was in their borders. So be cautious of that. But I've done it, and usually it doesn't result in too many things, but they may attack you. So be a little bit wary of that. And now that would do it for all of the Brave New World special units that are out there. And then I know and understand that there are more units to be covered and talked about, but if you go up to my 9 new civilizations with unique buildings and units and check out each individual civilization, all of the other units are covered. I talked about them and went into depth with them, so I will not do it here because there's no purpose for that. If you really want to go check that out, go check out some of my other stuff. So again, please rate, subscribe, and comment. If you're looking at this on YouTube, check in the details and there will be a link to my Steam guides. Those of you looking at this through Steam guides, please check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I would highly enjoy it, and I would love for you to subscribe because there's a lot of stuff on there that I know you guys would definitely like to check out.